Welcome back. For 5 years. Why are we doing this with 68-year-old men out there that aren't even wearing glasses? Welcome back. It is another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. As always, I'm Aaron Smith, joined by Chad this week, filling in for Jeff, and the self-proclaimed best producer in the city, Ed Mayhall.
Hi.
So, how was your weekend, Ed?
It was good, man. Had a little basketball on Saturday. May or may not have got a spot in line for a pair of playoff 13s on this Saturday. So watched a little Super Bowl. Ended up being a pretty good little Super Bowl. I didn't get to mention last week I got my first win as a head basketball coach a couple weeks ago. So that feels good too. Feels good. No, I was sick that night.
You were in the chat. You were in the chat, just not on the show.
Oh, that's right. I was in the chat because I was laying in bed, dying.
Touche.
How about your weekend?
It was. I went home. We had it was my niece's second birthday. So we were there for her birthday, and apparently one of my other nieces had pink eye earlier in the week, and I guess it's supposed to, if it's bacterial, like didn't wash your hands after you went to the bathroom type pink eye, that goes away after like 24 hours. But if it's viral, which has nothing to do with not washing your hands properly after you go to the bathroom, that one is a little more, it lingers a little longer.
It's a little more viral.
Yeah. So now that's apparently spreading through my family. So real hopeful that no one in this household gets it. Not real confident, but real hopeful.
Pink eye ain't as bad as some of the other stuff you can get.
Sure.
I mean,
not touching it.
Also not fun with a baby.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. I'm thinking toddlers. Sorry,
Yeah,
we're not there yet.
No.
Hand, foot, and mouth, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's lovely.
Aaron won't even have a toddler by the time his second kid arrives. Still gonna have an infant.
It's a solid point, actually.
What do they call it? Irish twins or whatever?
You and Rihanna.
I was about to say you and Rihanna.
That's what I just said.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
It's good company to have. Tonk, thank you for the Valentine's Day tip. We appreciate it.
Happy Valentine's Day, Tonk.
I don't know if Tonk's got a new Valentine or what his situation is with his Valentine, but we're happy he did make us his Valentine this year.
It's us.
But yeah,
and the people want to know where's the cutting board.
Oh, it's hold on, it's right here.
It's not a good display spot. Okay.
Well, no, it's not. I haven't got up on the wall yet. Talking about doing like a design on these walls, so I haven't put anything on the walls yet. So, like a little wood kind of feature. Lot of stuff going on down here.
Is that another desk in the back corner?
There is another desk. That's Michelle's crafting desk over there in the corner.
Huh.
She gets a corner. So.
And that's your Reds cut out from COVID?
Yeah, do we just want to go through the whole thing? That's my Reds cut out from COVID. Right below that is my autographed copy of
no, we don't have to
NCAA March Madness 2001. Right next to that is an advertisement piece for the Cincinnati Royals.
Chad, how's Kelly?
That yellow thing in the background's a banana.
She's getting there. It's still a little slow burn, but it's better every day, a little bit better every day. So
she's come home soon. Hopefully.
She did. She tried to do 2 steps today, and her leg buckled. So we're at 1 step right now. So we should be able to get her back into the house when we get home. That's about where we're at. She's probably gonna have to live in the living room for a little while until 13 steps is probably a little bit of a ways away. So
when you say we should be able to get her into the house, what happens if you aren't able to get her into the house?
I guess I have to pick her up and carry her across the threshold.
Yeah, I mean, that could be quite the romantic gesture, Chad.
We had friends in college that had one of those motorized seats that go up the steps, and when we would get way too drunk in the basement, we would take that up the steps to go pee.
I don't imagine your back would do real well with carrying anyone.
Probably no. The back is not good. I might have to fireman.
like a sack of dirt.
Yeah. Come on, honey. Well, so like there's 3 steps to get up the front door, but then if you go in the garage, there's just 1 step and then a 2nd step and you're in. So I might just have to get behind her and like
1,
shove
2,
her in the house.
3,
Yeah.
jump. All right.
So yeah, she fell on the 2nd step. Not fell, but like her leg kind of gave way, and then she hit her right foot was the one doing the step, and then she hit her left shin on the step and cut her shin, and that was an end to physical therapy for the day. But other than that, she's starting to eat more for $1.99 for Chad's spinal fusion. Thanks, Tom.
If you get it this year, everything right now should be covered for the rest of the year by your deductible. You've met all the deductibles, so get everything you need this year, Chad.
Look, Aaron, the deductible reset in October. On October 1st, she had met her deductible by like October 10th. We legitimately got a bill from the hospital that was like, okay, your total for the month of October was $174,000. So yeah, the deductible is long been gone.
What do you do at that point other than laugh?
We have agreed to pay $20 a month for the rest of our lives. For eternity.
Well, we got a lot to get to. I know everyone loves talking about the Super Bowl on Tuesday. But we will start there as it did feature 3 Bearcats, 2 on one side of the field, which happened to be the winning side of the field. Maybe there's something to that. And 1 fly, Eagles fly. And Jason Kelce coming up on the short end of the Kelce Bowl stick.
I don't think I've ever had. I think last year's Super Bowl was the first time I had like a real. Well, yeah, you're right. Because it was the Bengals. It was the first time I had like a real stake in the Super Bowl, right? And those emotions, I felt those again this year, like 2 years in a row. Because like I didn't know who I wanted to pull for. Like I kind of wanted to pull for Jason because I feel like, he's kind of mentioned retirement, and I kind of, let's go out on top sort of thing.
I mean, he's playing his best ball. I don't know why he would retire yet. Like, don't know why he would retire yet.
I mean, we can just get into it. Like that offensive line, and especially the QB sneak, 92% of the time it works 100% of the time. And as low as he gets and that line gets and that push, like I was mesmerized. I was amazed by how you remember when Domata Peko used to go out behind Andy and just push him from behind?
He was technically a fullback when he would line up in the eye, but
he would just push him from behind. Yeah. This O-line doesn't have to do this. This O-line pushes the defensive line back, and then he just kind of, I'm in. Hey, touchdown.
I think the running back actually still comes in and pushes Hurts from behind.
Yeah, they have guys push, but the offensive line moves the defense 3 yards.
And Jalen Hurts is not small. He's not like a Kyler Murray out there.
No.
So he Yeah, he gets them. I don't even know how it's 92%. I would imagine it would
it's probably gone up since the beginning of the podcast. I mean, we're
It's
probably
just
around.
over. So he said it as a joke.
Yeah.
And then they looked at the numbers and it was like, oh, you guys are successful 93% of the time
Jesus.
that you run the quarterback sneak. And Jason was like, see, knew it. I was right.
And they ran that quarterback sneak at least 5 times on Sunday night.
Every time if they have 1 yard to go, they just line up under Jason and Jason takes them across the line. It is. Here's the thing.
It's a work of art.
Like
art.
Offensive line play is so hard to watch. Like because you don't know like what the scheme, like what they're. But watching Jason, man. Watching him get out in space and block people, watching him get to the edge, watching him get downfield to the second level. And a lot of the times, like Chris Jones is like, what, 340 pounds? Chris Jones owned the Bengals. Yeah. Jason Kelce dominated him that game.
He tried to go over top at one point, and it just didn't even work then. He was like, you know what? Fine. I'll go over top. Nope. Still didn't work. Nope.
Like, he is – I introduced it this week. There is a case now to be made that he is the best center in the history of the NFL.
I tweeted on Sunday, like, I think he's putting I think we can all start saying that he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Or
no. Ed, that's been dead. That, like – he's been a Hall of Famer for at least a year and a half. Once he made All-Pro last year, like 4 All-Pros was kind of the bar for centers.
Right.
Like that's kind of you've reached that point where you were the best center of your generation. I'm not talking about Hall of Fame. I'm talking about best at the position in the history of the position. He is now in that. I'm thoroughly convinced. Because of the way the game has changed, think about like the top 2 or 3 guys that are considered the best centers of all time didn't have a shotgun snap. Generally, they just snap the ball and push forward. This is a guy that's getting on the edge. He's making plays out in space. He's making plays from the middle, getting down the field and blocking linebackers at the second level.
And not just blocking them, blowing them up.
Yeah, destroying them. Like his strength, his intelligence. I mean, the only thing that sucks from this weekend is that claim would have been a lot easier to make with his second ring, with his second Super Bowl title. Yeah. I hope he doesn't hang it up, man. He is still absolutely at the top of his game.
His mom is still planning. I guess next year they play each other. At Arrowhead. So his mom's still planning on going to that. So I think we'll get 1 more year out of him. But I mean, if he retires, he'll retire on top no matter. I mean,
if they would have won, I think he would have
hung it up this year.
Yeah. I think he just said, you know what? Like the third baby is on the way or here might be by now.
Yeah. I would say they brought his wife's doctor with them.
Yeah. I sent him a text today and was just like, look, man, congrats. Like, I know you didn't get across the finish line, but like, thank you for one, being a good role model for Kelce. Like I told this story last night. Yeah. Just thank you for being a great human.
Yeah. Human. Yeah.
Like I told this story last night, going through the week or going the lead up to the Super Bowl. My daughter's a giant Travis Kelce fan. Like that is no secret. But she said, I want Jason to win because I think this might be, he might retire. This might be the end of his career. I want him to get 1 more. And then Travis will still be around and have a chance to win, his second and get a couple more of his own. And then as the game happened, she roots for the Chiefs. So she started pulling for the Chiefs just naturally. But they showed Jason at the end, like right after the field goal.
Yeah.
And he kind of had his head down and you could tell he was sad. And I looked over and she's like welling up. Like you could see the tears in her eyes. And I'm like, huh. Like he really
For sure.
It really does have an impact on you, like who he is and what he's about and why this means so much. Like
That's pretty awesome.
It was really cool.
That is
really
awesome.
cool. Because generally she's like, she asked me Sunday before we went out. We went out Sunday, stopped at Findlay Market, got some steaks to cook for the Super Bowl. Then we went to see Kelly. And before we left, she was like, should I wear my Chiefs stuff? And I was like, nobody's going to care. She's like, oh, there's going to be Bengals fans, and they're going to be pissed if I have my Chiefs stuff on. And I was like, kid, could be it.
She's your kid.
You got it honest. But to see her kind of have that emotion when Jason had that emotion, and then to see the video today, of the audio of him and Travis, and then the audio of Jason and his mom, where he's like, don't worry, go celebrate with Travis.
And that's all he kept saying was, go celebrate with Travis. You could tell he was down. I mean, but I think even with that audio, just hearing Travis say, like, this has been the best season of his life. This has been the best year of his life.
Best year of his life. Yeah.
Yeah. He's started this podcast, so he gets to be with his brother more. He got to play against his brother in the Super Bowl. Like, you got to admit, I mean, that's like that's mountaintop right there. That's, as a football player.
Can you imagine having a brother and like the two of you like meet in the Super Bowl, like, and you're captains and you're like elite players on the team? You're not just like the 53rd guy.
I was super excited when my brothers got to play together in soccer. Like, I was like, this is so cool. I can only imagine if they played each other or even played on the same team as each other in like an MLS Cup or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then, yeah, you're right. The videos that came out of Trav talking to his dad, of talking to his mom, Jason still being a stand-up guy and, not blaming that loss on the refs, even though, the refs made the decision in that game, I feel like.
They made the right call. It was the right call.
They did. It was the right call, but they weren't making that call.
I don't care. They made the right call in the moment. Like, I don't.
You got to play consistent. That's here or there.
There was a foul, and the foul was called. Like, the rest is semantics.
If this was baseball, we'd all be disagreeing as well.
I don't think it matters what sport. I think it was a trash call, horrendous call. You don't make that call in the last minute. You haven't made it the rest of the game.
If you're making that, yeah, exactly. If you're making that call the whole game, yeah, okay, that's the right call. But if you're not making that call and you're letting them play the whole game, and then all of a sudden that play,
that'd be like if they called holding on the offensive line in that moment where they hadn't called a single offensive holding call the entire game.
If it was a clear hold and you throw the flag,
you can call a clear hold on any play. It's just when they choose to throw it.
And I know he came out and said, "Yeah, I held him. Yeah, it was the right call." Again, that's the Eagles being classy. That's just.
Or he knew that he held him.
Well, yeah, he knew he held him.
Here's what I talked about yesterday.
But he didn't come out and say what I'm saying.
That was the type of action that Kansas City had burned the Eagles on all night. That inside-outside against the Eagles man. He knew he was cooked. He knew as soon as Juju turned around to go back outside that he had to grab him, or the likelihood was going to be a touchdown.
That's another guy I can do without hearing his name ever again.
I think it's just, for me, it's just the aesthetics of it all. Like, it's the same thing where the Bengals, Logan Wilson last season.
Yeah, but that was different. That wasn't a hold.
I don't think this one was either, but
not anymore. He grabbed a handful of jersey as he was making his move.
It didn't slow him down.
But he grabbed a handful of jersey as he was making his move.
It didn't slow him down because Dudu Smith-Schuster is still slow. But
yeah,
he wasn't getting to that ball, and I think that's the issue that I have with all of it is that the whole the jersey grab, but the jersey grab doesn't. That's the thing is the jersey grab didn't change the play. Either way, he wasn't getting to it. But I don't want to get lost in the weeds on this. I do want to talk about the fact that it still astounds me that between Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and Brian Cook, it's still only 2 stars of high school rankings between the 3 players that the Bearcats have sent to this Super Bowl.
Championships.
Championships. Yeah. It says a lot for the university. We talked about, Chad, you talked about last year that the Bearcats just going to the playoffs. What a great advertisement for the school. And having 3 Bearcats in the Super Bowl, what a great advertisement for the school. Like, what a great piece of marketing material for this damn school.
Along with the defensive rookie of the year that was announced for Sauce
Exactly.
Gardner on Thursday
Sauce
night.
in a Super Bowl commercial.
But couldn't catch that flag football girl. He could not. She was fast. Yeah, she was good.
He should have grabbed her jersey.
Yeah, well, it's fair.
Well played, sir. Well played.
But
that's
yeah,
what he did all season, some would say.
I've seen that pointed out as well. So, but I don't know. It's just to see the university do what they did, and even the American Conference. By the way, I don't know if you knew this. I believe there were 5 guys from the American Conference on this team. 5 guys at least got congratulated by the conference. And Travis Kelce got an honorable mention as he did not play in this conference, but as he was a member of the Bearcats. But that's a wild statistic as well.
I mean, good for athletic. I hate the American. I hate the American. But good for them.
Just kind of a cool little stat there, because I would not have expected that many players.
No.
Daryl, he did grab a handful of jersey.
And if we're gonna say it was a great Super Bowl. Like, it was.
That's what sucks about the way it ended.
Yeah. It was back and forth. There was plenty of defense. There was plenty of offense. Like, that's the kind of Super Bowl you want to see, right? You got your money's worth if you bought a ticket to that game.
That's the complaint about the officiating. That's the only legit complaint about the officiating, is that all the viewing public wanted to see was, could Philly answer?
Yeah.
Get the 3 points on the board. Could Philly answer and get it to over? Could you imagine that game going to overtime? Like, Hurts gets them down to the 30. They kick a field goal right as the horn sounds. It goes to overtime, and then you get like the
new overtime rules, right? Yeah. Aren't there new overtime rules now because of last year?
Not in the. I mean, the playoffs are pretty static. You get the other team gets a chance.
Okay.
It was a great game. I was engaged the whole game. Did not catch the Rihanna halftime show. I was putting the boys to bed. So good. Congrats to Riri. I heard a lot of people saying that they don't think that was OSHA approved. But it is what it is.
You did not hear that, Ed.
Oh, I did. A lot of TikToks saying they don't think that was OSHA approved. A lot of blue collar boys out there saying, I don't think this was OSHA approved.
I can't stand it.
I didn't see it, but apparently she didn't have a harness on. I don't know if that's true or not.
She had a harness behind her from what it looked
all right, well,
like.
that's good then. All right.
Also doing it 6 months pregnant. Kudos
6 months
to her.
pregnant. It's a little wild. I also like the memes that were made out of it with like Mario and like Bowser.
Yeah. Well, she had made comments about Mario.
Okay.
Like early in her career, so that was the tie-in to how that all looked like.
It looked like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, and I compare every halftime show to the 2001 halftime show of NSYNC, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly, and it's hard to compare to that one.
That's not even on the top 5.
No, it's the best. No, if we did a poll, it would be the best.
No, it wouldn't.
What's the best? Prince was good. Prince was good. Right.
It was raining during Purple Rain.
And he could have died.
That's actually
playing an electric guitar in the rain.
That is kind of cool. So on the dangerous factor, maybe he has them. Maybe he has.
That was the it factor in Prince.
It was raining and he was playing Purple Rain.
If the rain was purple, that would have been. Yeah, that would have took it over the top.
The lighting was purple.
So that's kind of cool, but like it wasn't actual purple rain.
If the Super Bowl was in Ohio in 2023, the rain might probably be purple.
Purple, green, all kinds of different radioactive colors.
Who knows?
Speaking of which, Aaron, have you bought cases of water yet? Like,
not yet.
You should. You of all people.
Not anymore. Not any more than we normally do. We have, I think, 2.5 cases out in the garage right now, so it's fine.
Are you a prepper? Do you have a bunker out there?
No, we just
Not yet.
No.
You start digging a hole.
I don't have the energy.
You got a second kid on the way.
No. Out of your mind.
Maybe you could have the dog do it. Just have the dog start digging.
Out of your mind. You think I'm going to be out making a bunker. Fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? So there's two other topics I want to get to before we close up shop on the Super Bowl. The first one being it's been emerging since the comments came out of the locker room, and a lot of people are talking about it yesterday and today. But the Chiefs calling themselves underdogs, everyone counted them out as they start the season in the top 3 of the 22 season.
But everybody picked Buffalo.
They started as in the top.
Everybody picked Buffalo.
Did pick Buffalo.
Hold on.
Nobody counted them out.
They started the season in the top 3 for Super Bowl odds, and they were favored in every single game of the season. Every single game until the Super Bowl. Sounds like they were really counted out.
If you go back in the preseason, everybody picked Buffalo, which was a slap in the face. What the hell has Buffalo done? And Aaron, you're a Bengals fan. That team would have used like a sticker that they saw on the side of the road as disrespect. You do not get to now all of a sudden cast aspersions on the Chiefs for using whatever motivation they can possibly use.
Sure, I do.
You're a Bengals fan.
We started 0-2, and there were people counting us out even at the break.
When Chase went out, people were calling us done.
Chase broke his hip.
You're the defending AFC champions.
He got a geriatric injury, and he came back.
He was like one of these referees out there.
But you do not get to use, I can't believe the Chiefs played the disrespect card.
You don't
when
get
the
to
Bengals use that at every turn. Every team does it. Every team does it.
Look, I'm not mad.
Georgia played the disrespect card. 2 years ago, Alabama played the disrespect card.
Look, I have no issue calling them crazy too. Oh, Kirby
Smart. The Bengals were just as crazy for using it.
I'm gonna have to.
The media was literally saying they were out. What do you mean? No, the
media was literally saying Buffalo is going to win the AFC,
but they never said the Chiefs
lost
were out.
Tyreek Hill. They're out. The Chiefs are done.
Top 3 Super Bowl favorite.
But you're going to use.
What do you mean?
You're not. See, this is why you're useless in this topic, because you only see from your lane.
Because it's correct. It's actually right. You don't always get to be right. I'm right here.
I'm actually going to agree with Chad on this one. Like, you use everything that you can.
Use everything. That's part of it.
If
somebody's competition, right. Michael fucking Jordan used to make shit up. Make shit up.
It's laughable is my whole point. It's all laughable. You weren't ever the underdog. You weren't ever the world wasn't against you. You were in the top 3 of the Super Bowl favorites starting the season. You were favored in every game.
Conference.
You were favored in every game.
Everybody said Buffalo is going to win the AFC and Buffalo is going to win the Super Bowl.
You were favored in every single game.
Everybody said that.
Someone told Michael Jordan that Mickey Mouse was better than Bugs Bunny, and then Michael Jordan went on and win Game 5. I mean,
shut up, Greg. I don't care what you think. Shut up. You can't be the fan of the team that uses every slight against them to their advantage, and then when somebody else does it, cry wolf. That's exactly what you're doing.
I didn't take any offense to what Chad said or what Travis said. Like you said, Chad, you have to take every single grain you can get as motivation.
I'm not offended.
You would do the same thing, Aaron.
The whole thing is laughable. It's bullshit and laughable. If you were coaching
the Bearcats basketball team and Orlando Tech came in and said that Chili sucked, you would put that on the bulletin board.
You would. That's how sports works. That's what everybody is looking for, every little tiny bit of motivation that they can squeeze out of their team to get them playing with an edge. The Chiefs did that by saying, here we are. When everybody and Thrifty Walrus is right, there were a bunch of people saying the Broncos are going to win the AFC West. Justin fucking Herbert, who's a joke, is going to win the AFC West. The Chiefs are done. They don't have Tyreek Hill. Vegas wasn't stupid. Vegas knew that they were still, because they had played in 4 straight AFC Championship games.
They're still dogs.
All of them at home. Like, again, yeah, the odds said that they weren't disrespected.
I don't think that you can say that you were the underdog when you were.
I think you can, and they did. They held up the Lombardi Trophy.
The word underdog comes from Vegas. The word comes from Vegas as the team not favored to win when you are favored to win in every single game except the Super Bowl, which was only by 1.5 points, by the way. Come on.
The Eagles were favored. The Eagles were favored in the Super Bowl. Chiefs were disrespected. The Eagles were favored in the Super Bowl.
You use everything.
Yeah, you use everything. That's where this comes from. You don't care. You just want to say fuck the Chiefs. You're not interested in having like a well-reasoned debate. You just want to say fuck the Chiefs.
I didn't want to, but you took me to that line. You took me to that line, and then I decided to say it.
Oh, I'd say fuck the Chiefs no matter what.
I mean, that's fine. You're a Bengals fan. Like the Bengals-Chiefs is now the biggest rivalry in the AFC. Well, of course.
But also, I'll be a fan of the Chiefs.
Loud wrong on this topic.
No, I'm not.
Loud wrong.
Big Lamb did say that the Chiefs did not follow the script.
They didn't.
So there's that issue.
Well, I mean, you had Goodell hugging people in the biggest of bear hugs.
Saying, I don't care how you hit the quarterback.
That was a weird thing to say.
It's a weird thing.
It's a weird
guess
thing.
We don't. Guess at the very top, we don't care about how we're hitting the quarterback in an era of concussions.
How about the staged video, the staged shoot of Goodell, Kelsey's
mom, Donna Kelsey, and then
DeMar
Hamlin. Yeah,
like that was like
that was PR central,
everything.
Because Donna Kelsey became like the star of that Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure. I was still waiting up until the coin flip. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's bring Donna Kelsey out."
But it was veterans. Like they weren't gonna. They had already had that plan. They weren't gonna be like, "All right, fuck the troops. We got Donna Kelsey. Flip the coin."
That wouldn't have gone over very well. That wouldn't have gone over very well at all.
By the way, Thrifty, it wasn't the fact that I was surprised with anything that comes out of Travis Kelce's mouth. It was more just that he wasn't even the only one. There were several players on the Chiefs that decided to say that. I remember no one had us favored.
You know what it's like, Aaron? It's like if a team complained about selling tickets for a championship game that everyone was selling. The Bengals were selling tickets for the AFC Championship game.
I made
refund the tickets. Refund the tickets.
Checkmate.
I also thought that was laughable. No, fuck you, Ed. I thought that was laughable too. I said that on our show that was laughable. It was stupid, and that every team sells tickets. I made that same point
but
too.
We used it as motivation to beat
It's not
the Bills.
checkmate. It's not checkmate when you were favored every game. Every game. And you called yourself the underdog, which again, that term comes from Vegas as a team that is not favored.
Who was the favorite in the Super Bowl?
Oh my God!
Can we talk about Juju Smith-Schuster now?
Yeah, sure.
He quit.
He quit. This is what he quit. He'll be back in a minute.
So, what was your next topic, Aaron?
Talk away. You wanted to talk about Juju. Go ahead.
Well, I just thought the Valentine's Day tweet today was kind of hilarious. So he tweeted a picture of what's the guy's name again that held the jersey?
I don't even know his name.
The guy who got the penalty call. He tweeted a picture of him. It's a Valentine's Day card. It says, "I'll hold you when it matters most." And Juju said, "Happy Valentine's Day, everyone." Well, AJ Brown took big offense to that. And said,
AJ Brown was big mad.
He said, first off, congratulations. Y'all deserve it. This is lame. You were on your way out of the league before Mahomes resurrected your career on your 1-year deal. TikTok boy. He admitted that he grabbed you, but don't act like that you were ever. I can't read. Don't act like you like that or ever was. But congratulations again.
We should totally have more reading segments with Ed on this show. My God.
Especially never mind.
I don't know if we're
especially poorly worded tweets. Like that's where Ed's at his finest, is the poorly worded tweets.
So then Juju Smith-Schuster retweeted it and said, "Glad you finally got able to get that off your chest after all these years. Good game, bro." And then tweeted a picture of a ring.
I'm not sure if we're allowed to assimilate things to train wrecks right now, but that was kind of a train wreck.
Ooh, that is a little early.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like a week ago. It's fine.
All of a sudden, we're taking.
I'm further up. I'm further up the Ohio River than you guys.
You're gonna catch it first, bro.
Claremont County said we'll be good.
I did want to say I wore this particular headband, Lamb Big, because it's Valentine's Day, and Rachel told me to wear the red one. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
I brought this down to put on for Valentine's Day, but I just never So here's my Valentine's Day.
And I will be mad if anyone calls themselves underdogs next season and they're not physically an underdog. Let's make that a thing.
But you're going to be okay if they were an underdog and they call themselves an underdog.
If they were under a dog, yes.
So Aaron, let me ask you a question.
Like they had a dog humping them from behind.
That tweet from Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's in front of a dog.
Do you put that on the bulletin board next year?
I don't know. I don't
Yes, you do.
On any team, nor do I.
Yes, you do.
I just get to talk about it and make my opinion well known. I don't have anything else left on the Super Bowl. Obviously, the stuff with Juju was. I hate Juju Smith-Schuster so much.
I hate him so much.
You have so much hate in your heart.
He was a Steeler and now he's a Chief and he's not good. Everything that the guy said about him. That AJ Brown said about him, way true. You were about out of the league. You got resurrected by a team that had no receivers. Congratulations.
And now he's got a ring.
Mr. TikTok.
Real quick, did you guys talk about this last year? I did not know that, or last night I did not know this, that 40 plus UC baseball games will be on ESPN Plus this year.
Yeah, there were a bunch on last year.
Okay, I didn't know. That's cool. I'll be
But
watching a lot of that this year.
Those three against Florida will be on the SEC network. But anywho, moving on, switching gears to basketball. As the Bearcats, this is the last time I have to talk about this game. The Bearcats did beat South Florida 84-65. Ed, you're the only one who has not, in this airspace, had their thoughts been put out there on this game. I think Chad and I are both about talked out of this game. Yeah. But what were your thoughts on South Florida and their 84-65 second half pull away?
Cincinnati pulling away from South Florida, not South Florida pulling away from Cincinnati. Either way, you said that was kind of, yeah. Sorry. Anyways, I mean, I watched the whole game. I'm sure you guys have all said it, right? Slow first half. 38-35 at the end of the half.
38-34.
Ooh, you're right. Sorry, I gave him an extra point. Davenport went off for, how many did he have? 18?
Yeah.
18. After getting his ass ripped by Wes Miller for about 5 minutes on the bench, which apparently that's what we need. We need either Kenyon Martin or Wes to just rip people's asses. And then we play better. But it was, what we talked about last week, after that overtime loss last week, we said that they needed a get right game. We've said it multiple times this year, unfortunately, but we needed another get right game. And that's what they did in the second half, outscoring 50-27. It was a beautiful second half. I loved it. We had, Odi Aguama had 18, Landers Nolly with 13, David DeJulius with 10. By the way, Landers Nolly is Bryce's favorite player now. Him and DDJ, which I guess I can't be too mad about that. Those are some good guys to have as favorite players. But I mean, the crowd was in it in the second half. What? Why are you laughing at me?
Maybe they're lacking bulletin board material. They've been the betting favorite.
Maybe they are lacking bulletin board material. That's a good point. But I mean, hey, it was a good game. It's the game that we need going into. Well, I mean, it's just East Carolina tomorrow night, but you build off of that, and then we'll go into UCF and
last game in Greenville. How excited are you going to be to not see any more ECU Pirates?
Oh, I mean, not have to see an empty gym anymore? Yeah, I'll be pretty excited. I'll be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, those last two road trips between East Carolina, well, including East Carolina and then Tulane. Tulane actually had a full 4,000 person gym, I guess.
After the first half. Because that first half there was nobody there.
Well, they got presented the trophy.
Well, that happens, I guess. I don't know. I would like to see, we got the stretch coming up. We have Memphis. I would like to see a win against Memphis. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. That would be pretty successful end of the season for me. But obviously we have to win out probably to make it into the tournament. So
they're not making the tournament unless they win the American Conference tournament.
They don't have a signature win anywhere on this.
That's true. They don't have one. Would Memphis count? No, because no.
Memphis is as
if we would have beat
Houston as bubble gets.
If we would have beat Houston when they were number 2, then we probably would have had one. But
you could say a couple games if they had beat them.
If we had won.
But we didn't. ESPN Plus, though, is hosting the East Carolina game. God, I hope it's a better broadcast from Greenville than anything we experienced against Tulane. The big thing about East Carolina is going to be slowing down Javon Small, as he did have 20. We'll see. I know you said that.
He's not played since the UC game. He's not expected back for a while.
He might have some bulletin board material.
Until he magically arrives, as stars are one to do when Cincinnati comes to town, it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
He's not expected to play tomorrow. So if he plays tomorrow, it would be quite the surprise.
I would like to give a quick shout out. I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but Alex on Twitter, I think it's Blanton. I put a tweet out there just asking if any of the students could grab an extra headband for my son. I'd throw him a couple bucks. He grabbed a headband and a program for Bryce and wouldn't let me give him any money. He said, as long as there's a young Bearcat out there, I'm happy. So shout out to him. Bryce was super excited. He hasn't put that program down. He takes it to school every day. So shout out to him. I appreciate it.
I love that your kids are just as weird as you are.
He makes me read it to him as a bedtime story. Last night was me just reading the roster and how tall these guys were. I was like, well, this is Victor Lockton, and he is 7 foot 1 inch. That's a foot and 1 inch taller than Daddy. What?
That's outstanding.
So
outstanding.
And apparently he listens to me because I guess I told him about James White one time. And when I was going over the roster and I was saying, this is Coach Wes Miller, he goes, did he play against the guy who dunked from the free throw line? I was like, Michael Jordan? He goes, no, the flight guy. And I was like, you listen to me?
Oh, they listen to everything, Ed.
So, anyways, shout out to him. Sorry, we can get back to it.
All right. I don't have any more there, though. Basketball obviously has been a roller coaster of a season. Only 5 games left in this conference before the tournament. And
so Wes said the other night it's either NIT or NCAA tournament. He's not doing the CBI or whatever it is. Is that what I heard on the radio show?
Are you asking a question about what you heard on the radio show?
I'm saying, is that what I heard on the radio show? Because I forget things 24 hours after I hear them.
They make apps for that.
Babel?
Text.
Oh.
Notes.
I guess I could have wrote that down.
Twitter.
Whatever, Aaron. I was just trying to make conversation here. That's what we do in a podcast. We talk back and forth.
I'm just trying to help. You asked, or you made a concern that you have in that you are not able to remember things 24 hours later.
You're giving me a lot of bulletin board information for next time you forget something.
Good. Put it on the bulletin board, but make sure you put it on there right now so you don't forget 24 hours from now. You're welcome.
There used to be a bulletin board over here. It's gone.
Way to go, renovations. The Reds are going to be affected by some new rules this season. And next week, we're going to have Clay Snowden, probably best friend of the show outside of one Chad Brendel. But what are those rule changes that are coming for this season for baseball, Ed?
The shift is gone.
The shift is gone. How do you feel about that?
Can we be honest for a second? You guys like Clay more than me. It's fine.
He got us gifts.
I pay you every month.
Personalized gifts. That's a job. I mean, I can get you a world's best boss mug, but you don't drink coffee.
I don't. You're right. You give me a world's best boss tumbler for bourbon. Or a koozie. Maybe a koozie. A world's best boss koozie. Anyhow.
But how do you feel about the ban of the shift, Ed?
I'm okay with it, I guess. I mean, I've never understood. I mean, I guess I understand the point of the shift, right? Different hitters, the ball goes different ways.
That is the point, yes.
That's so, I don't know. Do you think it'll cause more, not cause more, but do you think there'll be more scoring because of the shift?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm all about more scoring, right? So Alex wanted more young Bearcat fans out there. Let's get some more young baseball fans out there.
You're good with longer games then, right?
Well, it's not going to be longer games because now there's more rules.
How's there not longer games when you're extending the period of which you're going to get 3 outs?
There's now a pitch clock.
Right. But you're extending the period of which to get 3 outs because you're banning the shift, which conceivably gave you outs quicker.
But it gives you more runs. People like high scoring games.
Which takes more time to get 27 outs. I'm just saying the points that they're making and trying to shorten the game to draw more fans, this particular rule is counterintuitive.
Well, what they want, Aaron, is less dead time.
Yeah.
Where people are just standing around.
Then charge more for your commercial time and make it one less commercial.
They're not even going to have a place to watch baseball games in every city.
Yeah. Bally Sports is gone.
Oh, that's because what the hell was Bally? What was Bally's doing getting involved in any of this?
I kind of wondered that from the beginning. Yeah.
Fox was like, I think we're good here. And Bally's was like, we got it.
Aaron, 50 Wallace says that you could get Chad tickets to a Bearcats game because he's a big fan as a boss's gift.
So
I thought that was funny. Thank you, 50 Wallace.
I guess I don't understand why the MLB doesn't just take control of their own shit. Get rid of this blackout nonsense that they have and run it from their app that they charge an exorbitant price for.
But that doesn't necessarily fix the fact that kids like high scoring games.
I was going back to the point of having a place to watch it.
Because baseball, Aaron, has become a very, very regionalized sport, which means you have to have a cable network in every market. In all 30 markets, you have to run a cable network that is accessible to the masses in order for your product to stay relevant. If they go streaming,
Is our CW this year?
I don't know. What are they going to do without Bally's? I have no idea. If Bally's is not available, MLB claims they are going to fill the void if Bally's is not there. Guess what? I'm not going to a streaming network to watch this Reds team every day for 6 months.
Oh no. I'm not either. I will pay for Apple TV to watch MLS games before I will pay for streaming network to watch the Reds games.
Well, what people aren't willing to talk about right now is this Bally's failure has a chance to crumble multiple franchises.
Good point.
There are billion-dollar deals in place in a lot of markets.
And the Reds are already in poverty.
To cover these teams. Like, it is outside of the revenue sharing they get. The largest money they get is for the rights to broadcast 160 games. And if that goes away, if that money goes away, the infrastructure of how these teams are paying their players crumbles. Forget the Reds. Like, the Reds are a minor part of what I'm saying here. Like, the Yankees, they've got the Yes Network. They have their own network. They are not a Bally's entity. But I believe, like, the Dodgers, I believe San Francisco, like, a lot of these big money markets use Bally's, and they have deals that pay them $100-200 million a year for the broadcast rights.
Thrifty Walrus says, also, no fucking way my grandpa's figuring out a single streaming service to watch his Reds. He would literally never figure it out and just watch golf instead.
Well, isn't that what people have been saying for like 10 years? Is that
he would turn on his AM radio. Come on, man. He knows where to get it.
That's what my dad
knows where to get it. Yeah, for sure.
My dad is Thrifty Walrus's grandpa's age. Sorry, Dad. But
my grandpa, I would walk into my grandpa's living room and he would have the game on TV with the volume all the way down, and he'd be listening
to the radio that was 40 seconds behind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The infrastructure of baseball is at risk with Bally's filing for bankruptcy.
The Reds could be broadcast on Waycross, right? We could just do Waycross.
We could. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to make their $70 million, but yeah, we could.
Yeah.
So, Chad, getting back to the rule changes, the shift. How do you feel about the banning of the shift?
I'm okay with it. I don't hate it. I think the physics, the nature of baseball, left-handed hitters are going to hit the ball to the first base side. Right-handed hitters are going to hit the ball to the third base side. That's just how a swing works. Unless you everybody else is gonna train. You're gonna change the entire complexion of how baseball is played, and everybody's gonna be an opposite field hitter. Which, when you're an opposite field hitter, that means you swing your bat late to take it the other way. Like, you're just asking for too much to change in the fundamental way that hitting happens for the shift not to be effective. What
should surprise no one is in softball, I always hit opposite field.
Yeah, because you were late on a softball. Congratulations. You were late on an underhanded pitch, Aaron.
Oh, wait, why didn't you guys ask Googs my question last night?
Because you're ridiculous, Ed.
My brother is a really good softball player.
I couldn't see it. You were
blocked. I timed him out. I timed you out, Ed.
That's what I heard. Next rule.
So I think it needed to be adjusted to where you can only have this many infielders on one side of second base. Because the analytics, the way that the game is played now, you're just eliminating you're eliminating pull hitters from the game. Like, if you hit the ball to first base as a left-handed hitter, you just don't exist anymore.
Look, I'm good with them banning the shift. I don't want this to get lost in that. And I agree with Thrifty Walrus that people think that thinks that people that are against banning the shift think these dudes can control where they're hitting a 96-mile-an-hour slider a lot more than they can. I agree with that. Baseball might be the hardest sport as far as you're trying to, in a split second, figure out where to swing to put the barrel of a bat on a ball hurtling at you, somewhere in the realm of a 76-mile-an-hour slider to a 103-mile-an-hour fastball. That may or may not have movement on it.
That's what's changed the game, is the number of guys that throw 97 and up. Like that was never until the last 5 years. That was never really a part of the game. The guys that did it were a complete anomaly. And now every pitching staff has 13 guys. 10 of them throw 97 and up. And guess what you have? Like, in order to time it right, you have to start when the ball is in their hands. You have to start your swing mechanism.
Which is outrageous.
And the defense has just adjusted to say, okay, well, you're not going to be able to find a hole hitting the ball naturally where you would hit this ball.
Now, that all said, again, I think my biggest issue is the fact that you're banning the shift, but also claiming that you want to shorten the game. I think that's just looking for something to complain about. Well, that should not surprise you.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Put it on the bulletin board.
Yeah, I mean, this is right. 96 was gas back in the day. Now, if you throw 95, if you top out at 95, good luck in AAA.
You better have You better have solid movement and drastic change between pitches as far as speed. Mm-hmm.
It always takes me back to bunting, where everybody is like, "Why don't they just bunt?" Do you know how hard it is to bunt a 97 mile an hour slider that's like tailing? Like you got it. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Also, make sure your thumb is the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, on a bunt, like I can throw 101. I'm just busting you at your knuckles. Go ahead and bunt that shit, homie.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Go square up and put the middle of your body to me while I'm throwing 101. Good luck.
Ed, next rule change.
Pitch clock. Pitchers will have 15 seconds to throw a pitch with the bases empty and 20 seconds with a runner on base. Hitters will need to be in the batter's box with 8 seconds on the pitch clock.
I'm okay with all of the pitch clock stuff. And I say that because we all saw what Sean Casey did. I think he might have been the worst with changing his gloves. Johnny Gomes was real bad about all of it as well. He'd go back out of the box, reset, and all of that. Every single pitch. I'm here for this. I'm okay with that. But again, what am I looking at? The mayor. All right.
Signed.
Yeah, he was on our show.
Oh yeah, he was.
This very show.
I forgot about that.
I don't know how you forgot about 9 conies. 9 conies and a puke. But
9.5.
That was the puke.
Not 10. Not 10.
Not 12.
Not 12.
I agree. Wade Miley was fantastic to watch because of his pace. Threw hitters off.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. And you frustrate batters that can't get back in the box.
You're going to see a severe lack of offense early in this season.
Because people can't get
hitters
back
are
in
going to be uncomfortable.
They're not in their normal routine. And routine is everything in baseball. All right, Ed, how do you feel about this rule? Are you good with it? Did you mention
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
All right, cool. Next rule.
Pickoffs. How will it be enforced? After a third step off, the pitcher will be charged with a balk unless at least one offensive player advances a base or an out is made on the ensuing play after the step off.
It is dumb to watch a guy
over and over again.
Yeah.
That's another part of speeding up the game.
Yeah. They're making a lot of adjustments to speed up the game so that they can be more offense, Aaron.
I miss stolen bases.
Yeah. Well, now you've got bases that are the size of.
Well, we'll get to that. That's one of the. We'll get to that. But I miss stolen bases, and I miss the days of Ricky Henderson, Kenny Lofton, even
Kenny Lofton.
There you go. Even Billy Hamilton. I mean, I feel like what Billy Hamilton was doing down in the minors, he was not able to replicate up here. A, because he couldn't get on base. But B, even when he was on base, he wasn't able to do quite the same things here because people are competent. So I don't know. I'm here for whatever to get more stolen bases. I missed that part of the game.
Really,
what you got next?
I loved stolen bases as a kid. Like, I was a huge Ricky Henderson guy. Like, I hated the Cardinals, but they had dudes that, that made you pay if you didn't keep an eye on them. And even if you kept an eye on them, they made you pay.
That bang bang play engages like that. That brings some excitement to the game.
Yep.
Next rule: bigger bases. The size of the bases will increase from 15 inches to 18 inches. That's what she said. The increase in the size of the bases should reduce injuries around them while increasing stolen base attempts. Didn't they do this during the pandemic?
If that's what she said, about 15 to 18 inches, Jesus.
Ed's talking 3 to 6, but it's still the same ratio.
Same thing.
There was a coach who compared them to pizza boxes today.
They're big.
Extra large or large?
I forget what coach.
Extra large.
Extra large.
They have like stickers or insignia on the side and stuff too. Or at least more so than they did. So
they had those before. Yeah,
but now they have like, I'm sure they're going to put ads on them or whatever else they can fit in any space.
They sell those
to get as much revenue as they can anywhere.
They sell those after the inning break, the 7th inning. They take the bases out and put new bases in, and they put them up in the Authentics booth to sell them.
I don't know what that has to do with actually putting a logo or of some sort.
People will collect it because there's a logo. So like when you did like the All-Star game season, right? There was.
I'm saying for ad space, if they want to put ads on them, that was all I was saying.
I don't think they're going to put ads on them.
Oh, they will.
They will. Right. I didn't think they would put ads on baseball jerseys, but that's where we're at.
I'm going to put an ad on the baseball.
I mean, they're going to have patches on the jerseys.
That's true. I'm here for it. Whatever. That's the base is a little bit bigger. Who cares?
If it's safer, then
yeah. But didn't they do this during the pandemic?
No.
Did they add a base during the pandemic? I thought they did something with the bases during the pandemic.
I feel like
fourth base. They added a base.
No, I mean they added to the side of first base.
I think at some point they did have a.
They might have added to the lane. To where you can run in and out of the
maybe that's what it was. Maybe it gave the first baseman more room. Maybe that's what it was.
How long until Papa John's pays to put pizza in them, and every time a player hits a home run, they get a slice? It's part of Papa's plan for a day of reckoning.
It's not a bad idea.
Here's the thing I agree with here, Thrifty Walrus. Small ball does allow teams that are a little bit smaller in revenue to be relevant because the money is going to power pitching, power hitting, like the guys at the top of the sport, the guys that make the most money. If you want to be a smaller market team that builds your franchise around speed, defense, that's not as expensive, that's not as, at least leading into these rules, is not as valued, you have a better chance to keep games close or to squeeze out an extra run or two here and there that allows you to maybe win games than teams that are spending $270 million, but they're kind of station to station, right? Like walk, home run, like those teams are kind of the big market teams. In theory.
I don't know. I mean, if you're not going to have pitchers hitting, I'm totally good with. You don't have much strategy in the way that managers used to be able to strategize games. And
right.
if you're gonna have situations where you're gonna have to start strategizing and having substitutions, I'm here for it.
Well, speaking of pitchers hitting, the last rule: position players pitching. Teams will be limited in when they can pitch a position player. The previous rule allowed for them to use one when up or down by 6 or more runs. But the sides are discussing a tweak in which the leading team would have to be up by as many as 10 or more while trailing. while the trailing
I don't really
team
care much about
would
this.
have to be down by 8 or more in order to pitch a position player. When you pitch a position player every once in a while, it's kind of cool. It's kind of funny.
I think people were mad that they didn't have their own Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, there's that. I mean, like when Adam Dunn came and pitched for, was it Milwaukee one year or whoever it was 1 year? That was fun. That was funny.
It's
I
Adam
liked it.
from Milwaukee.
Yes, Adam from Milwaukee. You sound like you're a big fan.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Jake Stowe?
Luke Stowe.
Luke Stowe. Oh, those were the days.
Do you have your shirt on?
Yes, Adam, I have my shirt on.
Okay, just asking.
Just curious.
I don't know. This rule doesn't do much for me either way.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
It's just there.
that's all of them.
That's all of them.
Outside of the Ghost Runner.
The Ghost Runner becoming
that's
a
right.
permanent. That one
Yeah.
becomes a permanent rule as opposed to one that
Why
they're
is it on
going to
the
be
list?
because they made it a permanent rule. I think the other rules that they put in on this list are for this season only before they decide if they're keeping them or not. They have all decided. They decided to keep Ghost Runner on second.
The dumbest shit ever.
For extra innings.
I'm here for it.
I hate that rule. It doesn't make any sense to me. And
Now you get now against no shift. You slap a ball through the infield, a run scores, and you have the lead on a single.
Well,
it's the dumbest shit ever.
The other team will also get it.
Yeah, but if that team doesn't get it, right? You don't like the second baseman makes a great sliding play, and now like you're in a severe disadvantage.
Runners on third.
Yeah, and you walk a guy, you turn a double play, the game's over because you got a seeing eye single that scored your Ghost Runner. Great in wiffle ball. We shouldn't be using any wiffle ball rules.
Look, if they're going to run a Ghost Runner, it should be true Ghost Runner rules. And there's no one actually on the base. There's just a dot on the on the actual
screen.
You know what I would. There is, if you put him on first, Ghost Runner on first. So a double play is still
a double play.
A double play, like you know what I mean. Like okay, here's a Ghost Runner, but there is what's the negative to having a Ghost Runner?
Well, the whole point was they wanted the games to be over. That was why they shorten the rule.
A single gets that Ghost Runner first to third. You've got a guy on third in scoring position with no outs, and all you got was a single. My point is, if you're going to have a Ghost Runner, make the double play relevant. Like, okay, you hit a ground ball to the second baseman, your Ghost Runner is now 2 outs.
I still think it should be true Ghost Runner rules, the way it was played in our backyards when we were growing up, that they only advance when someone is actually advancing them. They don't just get to run all willy-nilly because you think that they can run fast. No. There is no sack flies or anything for this Ghost Runner. They'd go when somebody pushes them, and it should just be a little dot on the screen.
And a single doesn't push them.
No, it doesn't. They just stay at second base. You want my rule.
He starts on first.
No, because then you could turn that double play. So the double play, I don't know that I love that, but the double play could come in for the second batter. But again, that Ghost Runner can't move until the guy on first pushes him. I think that's how it should be. I want him
on first. And that way you hit into a double play. Oh, well, you wasted your Ghost Runner, and now you have 2 outs, nobody on.
My Ghost Runner rule is a random fan who has consumed at least 3 beers and 2 dogs earlier in the game. Well, if you listened to the podcast last night with Royer and Googs, Royer said he's challenging himself to drink 9 beers in 9 innings along with 9 dogs.
9 beers, 9 dogs, 9 innings.
Crazy person. He is a crazy person.
That's why he's affiliated with us.
9 beers, 9 innings, 9 dogs. Yeah, that feels like doable.
You'd puke.
Do you go half inning beer, half inning dog, repeat?
No. I think you eat the dog right away, and then
I've physically witnessed Ed eating 9 cheese conies, and he puked. So there's no shot Ed could do any of this.
You got a longer time. There's no chili. There's no chili, onion, or mustards on a dog.
You did it during a show. You had 2.5 hours.
But we're just talking about hot dogs here.
No chili, no mustard, no onion.
Yeah. No cheese.
But 9 beers.
Yeah,
no way.
Seltzers.
No way.
What beers are we talking about here? Are we talking?
It doesn't matter.
Well, no, it does matter. It does matter because if we're talking
at that game,
beer,
probably 16 ounce Bud Lights.
If we're talking a craft beer, right? If we're talking something heavy,
16 ounce.
If
Bud
we're talking,
Lights.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You're not drinking 9 16 ounce Bud Lights.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Lambig says we got to set up that challenge with Dana Beers.
Beers versus Royer.
9 beers, 9 innings, 9 dogs, and legging out second to home on a single
in extra
bottom
innings.
of the 10th.
In extra innings. That would be better than the spinny bat thing.
100%.
As one of them gets thrown out by 47 feet at home.
While puking in between third and home.
That's what I'm saying. They're standing there puking between third and home. The catcher's just got the ball, like,
just not wanting to go near, throwing it to the third baseman so he can get him.
Run down.
It's a pickle because no one wants to tag the guy who's puked all over himself.
Do you think Adam? I think Adam Dunn could probably do it.
Oh, Adam could easily do it.
He'd be there
and hit a home run in extra innings with a ghost runner on second.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's done it.
That was also one of my favorite parts of the Super Bowl when Travis scored the touchdown and they panned over to Jason and he's eating a protein bar.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Travis is doing the stanky leg. Jason's eating a protein bar.
Okay.
It was on brand.
Yeah.
Very, very.
All right. That concludes the new baseball rules portion of the show. I'm gonna be honest, it's been a slow week with the Super Bowl. Ed, you make any money on the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't bet because I have made enough money in betting to buy shoes. But Michelle used her 200 was getting ready to expire, so she made her out of a free 200. I think she made $86 off the Super Bowl. So she'll be buying a new pair of shoes as well.
You are unbelievable.
What I told you, I am
not good at gambling.
I'm using my winnings to buy. I'm using my winnings to buy my first ever pair of Jordans, and I have reached that amount. So
you're the worst.
I'm there. I have dreams and aspirations, and that was one of them.
Unbelievable. Bearcats tomorrow night, 7:00 at East Carolina on ESPN Plus. I don't have anything else though for this week.
I don't have anything either.
Any bum of the week or anything like that?
Couldn't think of. I mean, there's, but
Super Bowl refs. But other than that,
Aaron's bum of the week is Juju Smith-Schuster.
Doo-Doo Smith-Schuster.
Doo-Doo Smith-Schuster is up there.
He's second behind the refs who threw the ref who threw the flag on the bullshit holding call. But other than that, this was another episode of Pardon the Punctuation. Thank you to Chad Brendel for filling in for Jeff, but for Ed and Chad, I'm Aaron, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Ba-dum-bum.
See ya!